This August the 16th picks edition of the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with the code MLB SGPN to claim your first time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code MLB SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm's college football and NFL projections are now live. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is Thursday, August the 15th, and we are here to handicap a full game of action for Friday, August the 16th. Joining me from somewhere in New York State is Mr. Dylan Rock. D-Rock, how about those Mets?
Oh, for fuck's sake. I mean, I'm livid, man, right now. Between the Dodgers blowing it, the Mariners getting swept, I'm telling you, the Mariners are on thin fucking ice with me. They just got swept. Mets up 5-0, can't hold the lead. Jose Quintana, I mean, he is garbage. One thing I will say, Insano made me smile. He's been a little MIA, but he wanted to show proof of life. Me and Munaf were talking about him yesterday, but glad he's here. But it's been a rough afternoon, kid.
Well, I took a little plus 138 on the Oakland Athletics, Dylan, hence my victory dance here. So I've been in decent form this week. I am now currently sweating out with over 2.5 goals in La Liga. Real Betis and Girona. Girona have just equalised, so it's 1-1 with 20 minutes left. So if you see me fall off my chair in the next 20 minutes, you'll know that a goal has gone in somewhere in España. Yeah, it's nice to see Captain Insano back. He was first in the chat. He was in the Premier League show chat earlier on. I believe he's just joined Munaf's Fantasy Football League as well, which
we're all in there.
So I'm going to dominate everyone this year. Football is coming home, as they say. Ralph's hiding out at work. James Mafia's here. Gio, how you doing? Tyson saying hello as well. Excellent. Nice to have everybody here. So if you have got any picks, by all means, give us a shout and let them know what they are. We need all the help we can get. 15 games for Friday night. I believe they're all on the board, although I'm missing 3 pitchers, which is fine. Bastards just hit the crossbar. I promise you I won't give too many updates on that. That Mets-A's game, Dylan, was the longest game since the pitch clock came in to MLB. Did you know that?
Yeah, because they kept fucking walking everybody. It was ridiculous. These fucking guys, man, I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. The bullpen is in shambles right now for the Mets. Oakland, they have a good bullpen, but they weren't doing well either. I mean, it was a shit show. Mitch Spence wasn't good. Jose Quintana wasn't good. Yeah, it was a little over 3.5 hours, right? Or something like that.
Yeah, I think the record was 3:44, and that one came in, I think it was 3:44. There was maybe 2 out, so it was only 2 or 3 minutes. 2 or 3 minutes over, but yeah, it was certainly was a new record. It did take ages. I listened to a good hour of it in the bath about 2 hours ago, and I did think I'd done my money, but never place bets on the New York Mets, Dylan, as the song goes. In Oakland, got it done. Myself and Munaf crashed the run of home run props. We were doing well. We had 4 in a row. It was on 3 last time I spoke, and then William Contreras hit one for Scotty Too Hotty the other night, and then me and Munaf fucked it. So that's the end of that. So we're back to the start, Dylan. It's about time you started pulling your weight, though. So you can start with that tonight. But we'll get into the games. I'm going to tell you first about the network's 32 NFL team previews. I listened to the Houston Texans. I listened to the Dolphins today. Munaf's on the Texans show, so that one's good. The $500 circuit competitions in that. The Premier League starts this weekend. Myself and Baz just recorded the first pick show. This time tomorrow night, we will know the result of the first Premier League game. So go and listen to that, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and in the SGPN app.
Where's
Friday?
Wait. Where's Nottingham
Go on,
Forest gonna end up? 11th, 12th, maybe top 10 this year?
You know, mate, is the
Oh
short
my
answer.
God.
Nottingham Forest's opponents this weekend were my underdog of the week, Bournemouth, on the show that we've just finished. There's a little window in you. Nah, mate, it's going to be more of the same, unfortunately. I don't think they'll go down, but yeah, that's about as good as it gets, unfortunately. 2:20 tomorrow is the regular Friday baseball from Wrigley Field. It is the Toronto Blue Jays at the Chicago Cubs. Yariel Rodriguez for the Blue Jays, Kyle Hendricks for the Cubs. And it is a match on the books. They cannot be split. -108 each of two. And the total is at 10.5, which is quite a high total. I don't know if that's weather related or just shit pitcher related. Rodriguez isn't going much length for the Blue Jays, but I do like him. Not many wins in his game log, but that's the Blue Jays for you. That's how that works. Kyle Hendricks has had 2 decent starts lately, but he's still hard to trust. You still don't want to be rushing to the window with Hendricks. This was really tricky. And I handicapped this before I saw the books, so I couldn't split them, and the books couldn't split them. I'm going to make my pick on the Cubs' home form over the Blue Jays' road form. And the Blue Jays' bullpen sucks as well. So we've got a couple more options with the Cubbies. They're better at home than the Blue Jays are on the road. And I think the Blue Jays' bullpen could blow it, even if Rodriguez goes quite well. So it's quite a tentative one. Will probably be low down my card, but I'll take the Cubs, Dylan.
Yeah, we're going to be on opposite sides. Give me the Blue Jays here. I got -110, so -108 is even better. I just can't trust Kyle Hendricks and the Cubs right now. They've lost 5 of his last 6 home starts. Just got swept by the Guardians. Meanwhile, Blue Jays, they just got done sweeping the Angels on the road. I feel like, which is impressive because they suck on the road. So, getting a nice sweep against the Angels should give them some confidence going into this series. But you mentioned Yuriel Rodriguez. He's looked impressive in his last 2 starts. The Blue Jays just haven't really given him run support that he needs. But I feel like the way they're swinging the bat right now, I think this could be a good spot for him. Total seems spot on. I set my total at 10.7. We got 11-mile-an-hour winds blowing out towards center field. So should be a windy day in Wrigley Field tomorrow. So I lean over, but I'm going to fade Kyle Hendricks here. I'm going to take the Blue Jays here straight up, -108.
Second game on the board. We're all into the evening card here. 6:40 Eastern first pitch. The Kansas City Royals at the Cincinnati Reds. Michael Lorenzen for Kansas City and Nick Martinez for the Reds. -130 Cincinnati, +110 Kansas City. Total 9.5, Dylan.
Yeah, I do favor the Reds here at home. I made them a -120 favorite. I do think this could be a higher scoring game. I'm not the highest on Michael Lorenzen, but, Nick Martinez, he has looked good in the month of August, especially in his last start against the Brewers, a really good hitting team. I would say a top 10 lineup, 7 scoreless innings. He struck out 7. I think this could be a good spot for him. Royals, they struggle to hit on the road in general. They just struggle on the road. While the Reds, they've been red hot. Winners of 7 of their last 10. Royals, they've lost both of Lorenzen's first 2 starts with the club, so he's given up a bunch of hits. I just don't trust him right now. I really don't like backing the Royals in general on the road. They're more of a home type of team. So -112, I'm seeing anything under a -120. I think it's good value here with the Reds.
You're seeing a -112 with Cincinnati. That's great value because I've got a -130 here, and I was still going to pick them. So yeah. As always, shop around. Lorenzen's another one who's pitching well in short bursts, short starts. He's had 2 starts against central opposition now for Kansas City since he moved across, but the Royals did lose both of those. And when I looked at Martinez's game log, I didn't expect what I saw. I didn't realise quite how good he'd been lately. His last 2 appearances as a starter, 12 innings, scoreless. Cincinnati going very well, and especially in this home stand lately. Good pitching and the scoring runs. So, yeah, same again. I'll take Cincinnati. and I love the little price that the price boost that you found me there, Dylan. Third game is what time? 6:40 Eastern first pitch between the Seattle Mariners and the Pittsburgh Pirates. It is Logan Gilbert for the Mariners. It is Paul Skeens Day for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Pittsburgh with Skeens to -126. Seattle are +108. The total is at an eye-watering 6.5. I have never seen this before on a betting website, Dylan. Paul Skeens has got his own tab on FanDuel on the MLB page. Normally where it says parlay, batter props, pitcher props, there's a Paul Skeens tab. So he's the first baseball player I've ever seen with his own tab up there. So lots of people must be interested in Paul Skeens stuff. But Pittsburgh's 10-game losing streak really crept up on me. I check the results every morning, and I just hadn't noticed it had been that bad. And that includes 2 games from Skeens, where he pitches well and they lose. His name on the schedule here makes Seattle a good price for me, Dylan. They're behind a reliable pitcher in Logan Gilbert. They've lost loads in a row. But because Skeens' name's there, they're -126. I think you have to take Seattle at +108, Dylan.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of who's pitching for the Buccos, I just don't think anyone could back them right now. They've, like you said, they've lost 10 in a row. They just can't really get their offense going. Their bullpen has been taxed, second worst bullpen in the National League. While the Mariners, man, they're getting me mad. They got swept, but they're fighting for a playoff spot. I do like Logan Gilbert. I really do. He's looked lights out in his last 2 starts. I know they got rocked on the road against the Red Sox, but the Pirates can't hit to save their lives, so I'm really not worried. They only hit 230 at home against righties, so even if Skeens pitches a gem, which wouldn't surprise me, I just don't trust their bullpen to keep a clean sheet. So I'd imagine, there's no surprise that the Pirates are favorites here, but I'm going to take the Mariners. I see +120 at Bet365. I only made the Pirates a -110 favorite, so +120. Yeah, it's great value here. That's my home puppy or away.
Skeens' last start, I think, was potentially his worst so far. Captain Encino saying that his velocity is dropping a little bit with every start.
You heard about that new rule?
Right, well, yeah, go on, explain to the people what you're talking about. Because, Dylan, while I was in the bath earlier on, I do a lot of my best work in there. I've worked out how to enforce this rule. I've worked out a beautiful, really elegant solution to what you're going to explain. What's the talk?
Well, I know that you have to pitch 6 innings now, right? Like, if you're a starter, you have to pitch 6 innings unless you went over 100 pitches in your last outing. Is that correct?
Well, this is all talk, isn't it? I don't think it's in any way being applied yet. But, yeah, the MLB are trying to get starting pitchers to go longer into games effectively. So that's one. But my solution, Dylan, you love this, right? Honestly, they're going to... Anyone in the chat, remember this time you did. So you can pull your picture if you want before then. However, if you pull your picture before then, you get a half a run. Fine. You get a half a run deducted. But that deduction, Dylan, only comes into force if the game is a tie at the end. So if it finishes 8-8, we don't go to extras if you pulled your picture. So what it does is it just gives the team a tiny little advantage. So then that's it. So if you let your pitcher go, when you get to the end of the game, you've got that advantage. So you would win a tied game by an extra half a run, by that half run. And that is my elegant solution. It would just encourage the managers to keep the pitcher in a little bit more. A lot of the time, it wouldn't be used because the game wouldn't finish in a tie. But there's going to be consequences. The odd occasion, you pull your pitcher early, finishes in a tie, you've lost.
Is it because they're trying to have pitchers not throw as hard and last longer into the season and less injuries? Because I feel like people are just trying to pump it out with their velocity, like a guy like Paul Skeens.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those. I mean, ultimately, I don't fucking care. They can do what they want. It doesn't affect me much. Next up is where are we going? 6:40 Eastern first pitch. Between the, oh my God, how has no one scored in this game? 6:40, the Washington Nationals and the Philadelphia Phillies. Left-handed pitcher Patrick Corbin will take on Aaron Nola for the Phillies. who are understandably short, -270. The Nationals +220. Total, Dylan, is set at 9.
Yeah, this pick won't win any awards, but I gotta take the Phillies here on the run line. This is just a fate of Patrick Corbin. How bad he's been on the road. 1-7 with a 6.68 ERA. Batters hitting 350 off of him on the road. And let's not forget that Phillies, they smash left-handed pitching. They're hitting 268 on the year against left-handed pitching. They've dominated. They won 4-0 over Corbin earlier in the year, and just like you don't even have to look far. Just look at his last start against the Snakes. He gave up 10 runs in 3 innings. I'm not going to overthink this one. Patrick Corbin stinks. Give me the Phillies -1.5, -114, which, to be honest, isn't that bad of a price.
Yeah, mate, it was really straightforward, actually. There's no way in to wanting to back the underdog here. Nolan has given up a few lately. He's not getting rocked, but 3, 4, and 2 in his last 3. Philly have lost his last 5 starts, which is a bit peculiar. Still, not a great spot here, though. So it's not a great pointer for a -270 favourite either. Nats are horrible in the first 5 against right-handed pitching. 29, 46, and 9. Philly 24 and 19 in the first 5. I like a Philly first 5 run line here. I want to keep this a little bit earlier. But yeah, Phillies will slam him. Just depends what time they do it. I fancy early, and then you can cash your pick later on as well. We will move on after I've told you about Underdog Fantasy. You can win up to 325 times your money if you go 8-0, or play fantasy football the right way with Best Ball Mania, $15 million in prizes there. Underdog just launched the season-long college football protections, higher and lower for your favourite college players. Use specials and boosts. Sign up with our code MLB SGPN to claim a special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code MLB SGPN. Next up is a 6:40 Eastern first pitch between the New York Yankees and the Detroit Tigers. This is one of the 3 games where we have a TBD pitcher here, and it's Detroit, who've done a lot of that this week, actually. Garrett Cole going for the Yankees, TBD for Detroit, +168 the Tigers. Cole and the Yankees -200. Dylan, the total is 8.
Yeah, it should be a bullpen type day. I think it might be Brant Hunter going for the Tigers. He's only made 2 starts, so doesn't really go long in the games either. 4 to 5 innings per start. And Tigers actually have lost both of his starts. Both teams playing well, though, coming into this series. 6-4 in their last 10. 7-3 now for the Tigers. They just swept the Mariners. So they're playing decent ball. I do think the Yankees should win this game. They rake on the road. My worry isn't the offense. It's how will Cole perform on the road. He hasn't pitched on the road since early July, so I really don't want to lay that much juice with him. I only made him a -165 favorite. So anything under that, I guess, would be a play on the Yankees. As for the total, I made it 8.9. I see some 8s out there. I would lean over. I think that number is extremely low, especially the way Tigers are scoring and the Yankees, so I would lean over.
Yeah, I was quite happy to not have to factor the Tigers pitcher into this particularly, because Cole has had back-to-back really good starts now, and it looks like this might be the start of a bit of a sequence for Garrett Cole. We've been waiting for it. We knew it was a matter of time before he settled into a pattern, and it just looks like that's going to happen. So the Tigers' bats really the last 2 weeks haven't been great. Got that they have won games, but not through a really high octane offense. The OBP's way down, the hard hit rate is way down, the runs per game is too. But I'm just happy to take a Detroit team total under here. I think Garrett Cole's going to have a great day. So yeah, probably under 3.5, maybe a 4. Detroit team total under.
Real quick, Insano saying quickest to 300, but no one's talking about since 2019, Pete Alonso has more home runs than Aaron Judge. So what are we talking about here? Come on.
Yes, Dylan, don't accuse us of being a Yankees pod, Captain.
I know.
You can keep your Yankees opinions to yourself. Where's Jeff when we need him? 6:50 Eastern first pitch is a Arizona Diamondbacks against the Tampa Bay Rays. Arizona, RTBD, I believe it's Ryan Nelson for the Snakes. For the Rays, it is Ryan Pepiot. And this is another close one on the books. It's minus 112, the Rays, and it's minus 104 for the Diamondbacks with a total of 7.5. Arizona have got 7 straight wins in Ryan Nelson's starts, and they've been, as much as the Pirates' losing streak snuck up on me, Arizona's 18 of 21 wins has snuck up on me as well. Ryan Nelson had a 2.41 July ERA, although he hasn't been sharp in 2 no decisions this month. Ryan Pepiot's put together a really nice sequence. Only 6 earned runs in his last 5 starts. He's particularly good at home. This is a bit of a scary pick, but I think Pepiot can outpoint Nelson here in a bit of a duel. And the Tampa Bay Rays pen has been fairly reliable in the last fortnight as well. I'm going to take the Rays to get one here, minus 112.
I'm actually going to go on the other side. I'm not really the biggest Ryan Nelson fan. How can anyone get in front of this D-backs team? 9-1 their last 10. They've won 6 in a row. I feel like them, the Padres, even the Astros, they're like the hottest teams in baseball right now. Meanwhile, I put the Rays on my do not bet list. They're 3-7 their last 10. They just got swept by the Astros. They're under 500 at home, and offensively, I just feel like they can't put it together. Only 4 total runs in that series versus the Astros, and also I just don't think this is a good matchup for them. They don't hit righties well and at home this season. Rays only hitting 221 on the year, so I made the D-backs a minus 120 favorite. I think they keep it rolling here, so I'm going to be on the other side. Give me the D-backs.
Next game is the second of the 3 with a TBD picture, 7:05 Eastern. TBD will be for the Boston Red Sox, who take on the Baltimore Orioles, who will throw Corbin Burns, and as a result are minus 230 favourites with Boston at plus 190 and a total of 8.5. Dylan, you seen anyone for Boston?
No, I just refreshed my page and I don't see anyone. I have no idea who's going to go for the Red Sox. I thought it was going to be James Paxton, but I just read a report a little earlier in the day. Test revealed that the right calf is partially torn, so they don't know if he's actually going to come back this season. So, yeah, that's bad news for the Red Sox. It doesn't really matter though. I still like the Orioles here at home. Burns, he's been great at home this season. And he has 2 dominant wins over this Red Sox team, and both of the games weren't close at all. I think it was 7-1 and 6-1. So I know the Orioles, they've kind of been up and down recently, kind of been inconsistent, but the Orioles do own the Red Sox this year, 5-1 straight up in the 6 meetings this year. So honestly, it really doesn't matter who's going for the Red Sox. I'm going to be on the Orioles big here.
Yeah, this is tricky without a Red Sox pitcher. Corbin Burns is fine. One of the keys is that Baltimore keep winning his starts, but the game totals in those starts are really high. In his last 5, 12, 14, 8, and then 13 and 10. Boston are 8-1-1 in their last 10 to the over against right-handed pitching in the last 14 days. So that'll do for me. Burns on the card is going to keep the total down. Total's at 8.5, but lots of things point to overs. Burns game log and Boston's stats to the over. Yeah, so I'll take over 8.5. I don't really care about how we're going to get there. Next game on the card, 8:05 Eastern, first pitch between the Minnesota Twins and the Texas Rangers. He's one of the biggest names in baseball for Minnesota. Simeon Woods Richardson will take on where I'm on the wrong page. Let's have a look.
You also skipped my Mets, by the way. We'll get back to them.
Oh shit! Back to the top of the page for the New York. I normally do that once every 3 weeks, so it's nice to get one in. It gives people a little a sense of well-being when I make the same old mistakes still, and it's nice to know. We'll do this game first. We'll get back to your loser Mets. Minnesota minus 112, Texas minus 104, total 8.5. Simeon Woods Richardson 3-3, 378 on the year. He's pretty reliable. Not quite as good on the road. He's got a steady 4 or so ERA over the last 3 months. It is creeping up. Post All-Star break, he's 487. So possibly tiring. We just talked about Paul Skeens maybe tiring a little bit. They just get these youngsters. It's impossible not to. Simeon Woods-Richardson has been in this rotation for a long time. Andrew Heaney has been good in his 2 August starts, and he's much better at home as well. Both teams have got really similar batting profiles here. But the Texas bullpen has been a worry lately. So I prefer Texas. I think Texas will be my pick. But I'm going to keep it down to the first 5. Just because I say that Texas bullpen concerns me a little bit. So, yeah, Texas Rangers first 5 to them.
Yeah, we're on the same side. Give me the Rangers. I made him a minus 130 favorite here. I know his record doesn't look good, but like you mentioned, Andrew Heaney's been great at home this season. His last 3 starts at home, he's gone 16 innings, only given up 1 run. Rangers are 3-0 straight up in those starts. If the Rangers could somehow find a way to give them 4 or 5 runs, I think they should win this game. You know, as bad as they're playing, somehow they're still over 500 at home this season. Rangers, they're scoring 6.6 runs per game in their last 5 they're averaging. I think this is a good spot for the Rangers. The Twins, they struggled to hit on the road, and their bullpen has not been good since the All-Star break. 3rd worst in the league since the All-Star break. So, like I said, anything under a minus 130, I'm going to be on the Rangers here. I do think this is a good spot for them.
That game's finished 1-1, Dylan. So you'll be pleased to hear the money that I won on the Oakland Athletics is now back in the bookmaker's satchel. So it didn't last long. I kept it warm for 20 minutes and then gave it them back. But, you know,
that's life.
Let's try the Mets again tomorrow at what time? They go in 7:10 Eastern first pitch. Miami Marlins at the New York Mets. I do need the Mets to take this series to keep me alive in Survivor. Rodri Munoz will go for Miami. Left-handed pitcher Sean Manaea for the Mets, who are minus 225. Miami plus 188. Total is at 8.5. Dylan, lead us off.
Yeah, I got to take the Mets to win big here tomorrow. They need this game. We all know how bad the Fish struggle against left-handed pitchers. And Manaea, you know, he's had success against the Marlins this season. Meanwhile, Munoz has not looked good in his first 2 starts in the month of August, giving up 3+ runs in both of those starts. And as bad as the Mets look and they can't finish to save their lives, the lineup is starting to pick it up. You know, they are scoring some runs here, even though they are losing. So maybe look towards a Mets team total, but I just don't like this spot for Munoz here. I think he's going to get rocked. I love the over. I made my total 8.7, so I do like the over. I made the Mets a minus 210 favorite, so I'll happily take the plus money on the run line with the Mets.
Yeah, I was really guessing at this one. Actually quite impressed myself because I handicapped this without seeing the lines. And my last note says I'll take over 8 and under 9. And the total is sitting at 8.5. So I worked it out the same way as the books worked it out. It doesn't help me making a bet, though. Munoz has been terrible lately. 3 or 4 earned runs, but still, sorry, he hasn't been terrible lately. 3 or 4 earned runs, but they still suffer heavy defeats in all of those, Miami. Manaea wasn't great last time after back-to-back 7-inning scoreless efforts. And there's just no trends about in this at all. Everything that one team's got green, the other team's got red. It just balanced itself out. So I am guessing. You've talked me into the over 8.5, though, Dylan. So that's what I will do. But yeah, way down my list, this one. We're going to talk about rhythm. I've got rhythm. Football season is here. The college football and NFL models are now live on Rhythm. Create your own winning betting model or let Rhythm do the heavy lifting for you. Rhythm and its predictive models, all based on great AI projections from MIT data scientists. NFL Week 1 and college football Week 0 are queued up, ready to go. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. And the Circa Survivor and Circa Millions are back with $16 million in guaranteed prizes. The boys and girls from the network will be out there 22nd through to the 24th. Use the promo code SGP15 to save 15% on your hotel room for sign-up weekend. If you do sign up, use our proxy you'll want to play from anywhere. $50 off with the code SGP at proxy.footballcontest.com. back down the page is 8:10 Eastern first pitch between the Chicago White Sox and the Houston Astros. It's left-handed pitcher Garrett Crochet for the White Sox. Spencer Arrighetti will go for the Houston Astros, who are minus 205, plus 172 on the White Sox. And the total is sitting at 8. Garrett Crochet was one of the names at the top of the strikeout leaderboard who was getting in my Cole Reagan's bet, but he's dropping away now. He's absolutely checked out, Crochet, on the season. He's just phoning it in. No, I think the no trade affected him. It was a bit weird because he kind of stymied himself on the trade market and then just hasn't reacted very well. I mean, 2 1/3 last time, 7 earned runs. It's just, he's just given up. It's a shame because he was having a really good season. I just think you can't factor him in positively in any way in this game for the White Sox. In Arrighetti, he's having a strong second half. Though Houston don't give him much run support, he could do with a little bit more help off the Astros lineup. This is a good chance. This is a great spot. Plus money on the run line, Houston, plus 112. It's a great price. I like that, Dylan. Houston on the run line.
Yeah, Astros, like I said, one of the hottest teams right now. Winners of 8 straight. Now they get the White Sox, so very good for them. They should win this game, but over a $2 favorite. I'm not going to touch a side. I do think the total's a little high. I set my total at 7.2, so I'll take the under 8 minus 110. Spencer Arrighetti, he's been solid at home for the Astros this year. He's only given up more than 1 run at home once in his last 4 starts at home. The under's 3-1 in those starts as well. And Garrett Crochet is a guy I usually want to back at home, but after that awful start against the Cubs, I do think he bounces back. I think he could have a nice outing here. The first time out against the Astros, the game went under. He only gave up 3 runs in 6 innings. Astros are an under team, 7-3 towards the under their last 10. They've been an under team all season at home, 33-22 at home towards the under. So I think we could see a lower scoring game. I do think the Astros win, maybe like a 4-1, maybe a 5-1, so you get the run line. But I think the game a lower scoring game. So give me the under.
Okay, Dylan put in a little bit of faith in Garrett Crochet to get it together there tomorrow. 8:10 Eastern is the Cleveland Guardians at the Milwaukee Brewers. Trev has joined us. Trev, good evening. Gavin Williams for the Guardians. Aaron Savali for the Brewers. Minus 112 Cleveland. Minus 104 the Brewers. Total here is at 8. Dylan.
Yeah, another total for me. I'm going to take the over 8 minus 110. I made my total 8.9. I like Gavin Williams, but if I'm being honest, I don't really think he's been challenged all that much. Outside of that game against the Orioles, all below average offenses he's gone up against. This is going to be a top 10 offense in the Brewers. And I mean, the way they faced the Dodgers and the way they swung the bat, Wilson Contreras, he's just continuing to rake. I mean, the over's been profitable in Milwaukee this season, 33-20 towards the over. Brewers swinging the bat well. They hit righties extremely well. I think we're going to see plenty of runs here. Guardians, they stepped it up there too, so they're swinging the bat well. So I think we can see some runs here. I'm going to be on the over 8. Total seems a little low.
Yeah, Trev's backed that up as well. I'm on the other side. We're doing this a lot, which is I don't mind this because we had a couple of shows where everyone's picked the same pick. I'm on the under here. Williams is kind of inconsistent, but look at his road numbers. 4 games started, 21 1/3, 13 hits, 2 earned runs for a 0.84 road ERA. You can't argue with that. I know you're saying he might not have been tested. Savale isn't quite as sharp, but decent at home. 12 games started to a 3.78 ERA. We're getting a low-key starting pitcher duel here. I'm going to take the under 8. Andy B in the chat asking about the Pittsburgh-Seattle game. We kind of lent to Seattle in that, Andy, but we think Skeens is just dropping off a little bit. I don't think in good faith you can take an under 6.5. So we'd be looking towards the over in that one. Skeens gave up 4 last time. So that's where we lent on that one. Where are we going next? The LA Dodgers at the St. Louis Cardinals is at 8:15 Eastern first pitch. This is our third and final game with a TBD pitcher, and that is for the LA Dodgers. Miles Mikolas goes for the Cardinals, who are plus 114. The Dodgers minus 135, total at 9.5. So no Dodgers pitcher, but don't really need one for my pick. Firstly, I don't really care who they throw. Minus 134, I think is going to be a good price against the Cardinals and Mikolas. Mikolas is on the slide again. 12 earned runs in his last 14 innings pitched. St. Louis do score him some runs as well, though, so the over's very much in play. He's much worse at home. 6.38 home ERA. Betts and Otani, etc., could absolutely take him to the cleaners. Dodgers team total stands out a mile, Dylan.
Yeah, 100%. I like the team total. And yeah, regardless of who's going, I thought it was going to be Tyler Glass now, but it's not. Regardless, we know how Miles Mikolas is going to be for the Cardinals. He just can't buy a win right now. The Cardinals 3-7, their last 10. They've lost 4 straight. Another team where it seems like their offense has kind of just disappeared. Miles Mikolas, he's just unbackable. He's been awful at home, on the road. Dodgers already smacked him in the beginning of the year. And truthfully, I just don't see this game being much different. So yeah, I like the team total. If you get a 4.5, I like that over. Minus 134 is a great price. Tough loss today for the Dodgers, but I think they beat the Cardinals here. So yeah, minus 134. I like them on the money line, and I like the team total as well.
The Lizard King is going to get shellacked. Holy shit, Dylan. We just talked about the Mets and the A's having the longest game in the pitch clock era. This might be the shortest podcast in the full slate era. We're absolutely flying through these games. I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign. The penultimate game, 8:40 Eastern, first pitch, will take in the San Diego Padres at the Colorado Rockies. Officially TBD for San Diego. We believe it is Matt Waldron. And for Colorado, it will be Cal Quantrill. Plus 152, the Rockies. Minus 180, the Padres. Total is 11.
Yeah, this should be a good game, I feel like. The Padres, they are red high, and the Rockies, they're competitive at home with Quantrill on the mound. They've actually won 5 of his last 6 home starts, with the 1 loss coming by the Dodgers, who we just talked about. I did make the Padres a minus 170 favorite, but I do think they're the right side. But instead of then taking them in the full game, I'm going to take the Padres first 5 minus a half. That's probably the angle I want to take. Get the odds down a little bit. We just seen them score 3 runs off of Quantrill in his last start in San Diego. And Matt Waldron, he's looked sharp against the Rockies the first time through the order. So with the way they're swinging the bat recently, I just can't get in front of this Padres train right now. You got to imagine this Padres, being up through the first 5 innings. So going to get better odds there. So instead of taking them the full game money line, I'm going to take Padres first 5 minus a half.
Yeah, I had a nice bet last night on the Padres over against the Pirates, cashed by the 3rd inning. I think actually the run stopped after that, but that was fine because we were in the winner's enclosure. Trev saying that they've had an adjustment day up there in Colorado. Where is it? Denver? Is it in Denver? Yeah, must be. So that'll help a little bit. Waldron really, really up and down. He's had 2 5 earned run starts in his last 3. But the Padres do help him out by scoring loads. They have won his last 4. The totals in those 9-8, 10-2, 6-5, 12-3. So that would be a push and 3 overs. But there's no Colorado factored into any of them. Quantrill's been decent at home, but that Padres lineup doesn't care about that. Don't need an excuse to take an over in Coors. And I'm happy to do it here. Let's go over the 11. Finally, we've got a team that I'm watching right now. 9:38 Eastern first pitch is the Atlanta Braves at the LA Angels. It's one of the biggest names in baseball. Spencer Schwellenbach goes for the Atlanta Braves. Twice in one show I've done that joke. Thank you. And Jose Soriano will go for the LA Angels. Plus 132, the Angels. Minus 156, the Braves. Total is sitting at 8.5. Spencer Schwellenbach is holding his form actually really well. We talked about Skeens. We talked about who else? So Simeon Woods Richardson, maybe just starting to feel it a little bit. Schwellenbach's holding his form really well for a rookie. Still going good length. Pitched well in Coors last time, which is a good sign as well. Jose Soriano He's been in exceptional form. 6 earned runs given up in his last 5 games started. The Angels are winning enough of his games. Actually, the Angels are pretty feisty. They've proved quite a tough out for quite a lot of the decent teams over the last couple of weeks. Atlanta have battled well this week. They won a couple of low scoring games, but they didn't happen last night. They get beaten again tonight. I think both pitchers can go well. First 5 under for me here. Yeah, that'll be my pick. My start of the day is that Atlanta, the lead in the league in home runs by catchers. No use to anyone that. 20 home runs from the catchers. Make of that what you will. First 5 under, Dylan. Braves at the Angels.
Yeah, no real strong play, but I do lean under 8.5 full game. My total came out to 8.2. Surprisingly, Jose Serrano, he's looked solid at home in his last few starts. He's only given up more than 3 runs at home one time since April 27th. He's been serviceable, and the Angels are 4-1 straight up at home in his last 5 starts. You're right. You know, they're feisty. They're not the best team, but they have been playing better than advertised. I don't know if they'll win, but I do think this will be a lower scoring game. Spencer Swellenback, he's also been good on the road as well. He's only given up more than 2 runs one time in his last 5 starts on the road. Braves struggle to hit on the road. They put up a 0 so far against the Giants today. So I do think they could win. It wouldn't surprise me if the Angels won, if I'm being honest. But I see like a 4-1, maybe a 4-2 type game. So I'm going to take the under here.
Zach Neto's been in really good form if you're looking for a hitters for total bases. I think he's had extra base hits in, I can't remember the number, maybe 8. Was it an 8-game streak with an extra base hit for Zach Neto or something like that? So yeah, he's interesting name and going well. Right then, Dylan, 42 minutes. I know we've only got 14 games, not 15. I keep saying a full card. There is one game shy. Is that something to do with the Little League World Series, maybe?
I have no idea.
Dylan has no idea.
The New Jersey team, Morristown, they lost to fucking Staten Island. Those mother. It's been a bad few days over here, kid. I'm telling you, it's been rough.
Dylan finds more things to get morose about. Brilliant. Right, I'll tell you what to cheer you up, Dylan. Give us a lock in a dog, mate. Come on.
All right. So I'll start with my dog because I'm going to take the Mets. Is the Mets still -1.5, still plus money or no? Can you check that for me real quick? Because last time I saw them, they were at plus money on the run line.
Oh, come on. This is good radio. Plus 102. Are you claiming that?
No, I can't do that. I won't do it. I'll start with my lock. I'm going to take the Phillies on the run line. Like I said, this is it's Patrick Corbin day. We're going to fade him on the road. Phillies rake against lefties. So I love that as my lock. As my dog, I'll take the plus 120 I see at Bet365 with the Mariners. Like I said, you just can't trust the Buccos right now. I do think Paul Skeens will have a good game. I think he bounces back after probably his worst start against I think it was the Dodgers in his last start. So I do think he'll be better, but just can't. When that bullpen comes in, I just expect it to be blown up. So Mariners are on thin ice with me, but I do think there's value here at plus 120. So my dog today is going to be the Mariners.
Very well might have been my dog, Dylan. It still might be if I can't find anything else. Come on, look. A couple of totals, but maybe the Dodgers team total. Miles Mikolas, though, if I give that out, he'll fuck me up. He does a lot. I'm going to take the Reds. I like them at -130. You said there's a -112 kicking around to beat the Royals. They've enjoyed this homestand, hitting well, good pitching performances, and Nick Martinez has been sneaky good. So let's take the Reds at -112. And have I got another underdog? Not sure I have, Angels are a possibility. Go on. Let's take the Angels at plus 132. This is priced up on name value alone. The Braves at -156. I'm sitting watching them right now. I know they're taking on Logan Webb, who's decent, but it's 6-0, and they're scuffling. I mean, Soriano can go well. The Angels have been scrappy. Plus 132 is a really fair price for Soriano and the Angels. So that will be my pick there. And finally, Dylan. Oh, hang on, Dylan. Munaf's arrived. Sing the company anthem, etc. Hello, Munaf. How are you? We already mentioned that myself and Munaf blew the streak in dingers. But it's about time you started pulling your weight, Dylan. So we're going to start tomorrow with this beautiful pick from Dylan Rock.
Yeah, so for my home run prop, let's go to that Phillies and Nationals game. I think Patrick Corbin is going to get shelled by the Phillies. And, I know their offense hasn't seemed right or something to ride home about, but I think this is a good spot for them. They rake against lefties, especially JT Realmuto. That's who I'm going to take to hit a home run. 35 at-bats against Patrick Corbin. He's hitting 371. He does have 3 home runs off of him in his career. He hasn't had one in a week. Last Thursday, he hit a home run. But in a game where I expect a ton of runs from the Phillies, I expect JT to have a good game and hopefully hits one out. Not good at these, but give me JT.
Not good at these, but the first 2 names I've looked at are not playing tomorrow. I looked at Daz Cameron. I looked at Helio Ramos, but they're not playing. Who are the Phillies? Are the Phillies playing? Let's have a look. Oh, I've got it. Yes. This is easy. Beautiful list. Phillies taking on Patrick Corbin. We don't need an excuse to fade him. The answer is going to be Weston Wilson. Nice. Right down the bottom of the lineup, hitting 8. Stop laughing, Dylan. I can see you. He's going yard tomorrow. There's a name. Weston Wilson for the Phillies tomorrow off Patrick Corbin. Get in the queue for that one. Absolutely love it. Dylan, we made lovely time there. Anything you want to tell the people about before we go?
Nothing to talk about. Big UFC card this week in 305 in Australia. But I wanted to ask you, what can you tell us about, my country's new soccer coach? Is he anything to write home about?
Poch. Is it Maurizio Pochettino?
Yeah.
He's good enough for your lot. I know that much. He's very good.
Are you trying to disrespect our team now?
Yeah, a little bit. That's it. No, he's all right. He did very well. Do you know what he's quite good at? Like not winning, but wow. he does everything right, and then ultimately doesn't win. So I don't know if you've got if there's a comp coach like in NFL or whatever, who gets everyone going in the right direction, then they don't win. But he's good. He's all right. Argentinian, so he'll introduce a little bit of steel. Some of the dark arts will creep in there, Dylan. And you get them playing nice football. I liked him. He's linked with a lot of jobs over here. The Manchester United job, linked with the Newcastle job a couple of times. But yeah, he'll be all right, mate. You will improve. I'll say that.
Yeah. I mean, you can't replace a guy like Sir Alexander, right? I mean, legend of a guy.
Shut up. I hate that man. Ruined my life. My best years of my life were ruined by that man. Thank you, everybody. The chat was live and kicking tonight. I very much enjoyed it. Go and listen to the Premier League show. Starts tomorrow, and I've given out at least 17 huge price-winning picks in that hour. That's what it'll pay you to do so. Someone will be back tomorrow evening on the show. Not sure who it is. It might be the gaffer. We'll see if Munaf's around. Good luck, everybody, and we will see you down the road. Cheers.